Another Jordan sneaker review? Wee wee. What's up, everybody? It's Blue from Blue Shoes, and today we're taking a look at the A Ma Maniére Air Jordan 5 Retro in the Dawn colorway. So I am sure you all know this by now, but A Ma Maniére is a clothing brand with flagship stores in cities like DC, Atlanta, and Houston. Their website states that A Ma Maniére translates to my way in French. This embodies the idea that individuals are influenced by their culture. They are inspired by Parisian culture. I hope I said that correctly. Anyways, that's why they have the French name, A Ma Maniére. I believe this shoe is the 6th Jordan brand shoe that has collaborated with A Ma Maniére. They've done the Jordan 3s, the 1s, the 2s, the 4s, the 12s, and now the 5s. There was an opposite colorway of the 5 released on the same day as these in the dusk colorway. It was obviously darker colors, black, burgundy, whereas this is gray and lighter colors, dusk versus dawn. Anyways, I personally believe this is the better looking of the two colorways, which is the reason I went for this pair and not the dusks. I really like a lot of things about this Jordan 5, but there also are some things that I'm not a huge fan of. But before we get into that, I would like to go over the box for a little bit. So my box was unfortunately damaged in transit to me. Thanks a lot, FedEx. But anyways, the whole outside of the box has a slightly raised A Ma Maniére A logo all over it. Also on the box, you have a shiny Jumpman logo. It's glossy navy. Once you open the lid, you see a slick black and white photo of some Jordans. The paper in the box even has the A Ma Maniére logo all over it. And finally, another thing I didn't mention is you do have like a little circle pull tab hole right there in the shoebox. But anyways, that's enough for the box. Let's get into the looks of the shoe. So I like the gray upper. I like the stitched in blue and black 23, the very thickly stitched Nike Air on the back. I love all of the uses of the A from the A Ma Maniére logo on the box, the paper, the tongue of the shoe. The patch on the inside says A Ma Maniére, and also the midsection here in the middle has A's all over it, as well as on the tongue. I like the black and blue at the bottom. Really, the one thing I'm not a huge fan of is the yellowed sections on the outsole and this middle section right here. It's just not really my favorite. For those of you who don't know, the usually icy blue outsoles for the 5s, the mid panels here, and the tongue usually yellow eventually over time. This Jordan, though, beats time to the punch by making it yellow from the jump. I know the aged yellow look is really popular right now with Jordan brand. Sometimes I even like it, but on these, it's just not for me. That being said, it's still a great sneaker in my opinion. It's just, this is a detail about it that for me takes the shoe from a potentially elite colorway down to just a really good colorway. Speaking of the looks, I've already mentioned some of the things on this collab pair of Jordan 5s that are different from the regular pairs. The usual pairs have cross-hatching sections where there's like flat rubber here and little ovals. But on this shoe, it's actually little A's for the A Ma Maniére logo. That can also be said the same for the tongue. Also, it has the A on the upper part of the tongue stitched on this shoe, whereas on this shoe, it does actually have the Jumpman Jordan logo. On the inside of the tongue, where it would normally say A Ma Maniére, where it would usually say Air Jordan, it says A Ma Maniére. On the other tongue of the other shoe, it says Michael Jordan, I believe, in cursive, fancy cursive, because it's a fancy shoe. I'm so fancy, you already know. One difference about the shape of this shoe is that normally the collar of the upper has these puffed up patches on the collar of the shoe, these like pods I call them, as you can see on my Jordan 5 Moonlights. I'm sure that extra space there is meant for ankle support and protection. On this pair though, those aren't there. It's just flat. And I actually think I might like it better this way. I think it's a little cleaner. One other difference is that the tongue seems less thick and puffy, and also seems to not go up quite as high as usual as like the other Jordan 5 tongues do. All right, so that's enough with the looks. Now for the materials. According to the A Ma Maniére website description of the shoe, this upper is actually a very fine suede. I will say at first that I wasn't sure what the material was, because if it is suede, it's some of the finest suede I've ever felt in my life. It's so smooth. Honestly, I thought it was maybe nubuck at first, but they say it's suede. Whatever it is though, it feels amazing. It feels super premium, way more than most Jordan sneaker uppers for sure. As mentioned before, the mid panels here are a semi-translucent rubber, as well as the body of the tongue. And the upper part of the tongue is actually 3M. It's very reflective, as I'm sure you can see in the lights here. The inside of the shoe is a coarse knit material, which I am just now realizing is actually the A Ma Maniére A logo stitched on the inside of this shoe for the entire like inside material, which is, wow, that's like insanely intricate and crazy. The insole of the shoe is actually a polyurethane insole, pretty standard for Jordans these days. Definitely not the most comfortable insole of all time, but definitely a step up from the cheap Ortholite insoles they used to put in most of their Jordans. Another premium detail for this insole is that they actually hand stitched the Nike Air logo into the insole instead of the usual like printed on logos that wear off super fast. It's really cool that this should never come off. Just another really cool premium detail that they have on here. Put this back in. The laces, while similar to the usual Jordan 5 laces, somehow feel a little bit softer. Not really a big deal, just another detail of how they step up the materials for these collabs like this. I should mention this pair of shoes also comes with 2 alternate pairs of laces. A pair of white laces and kind of a cream color. So yeah, you have the typical lace lock like you do on the Jordan 5s. I usually take these off of my shoes because I just think they look kind of awkward and tacky usually. The midsole of the shoe is made of a more firm polyurethane foam rubber. On the inside of that midsole, there's actually a heel and forefoot air unit, which helps provide a little extra spring, a little extra cushion. You can actually see that heel air unit right through that little window in the midsole there. The outsole is 2 rubber herringbone traction sections on the forefoot and the heel, separated by the rubber foam of the midsole that says Nike on it. Also, underneath that semi-translucent rubber, you can see the Jumpman logo as well. Finally, we get to the size and comfort of this shoe. Personally, I think these are true to size. This pair of collab 5s fits no different than the usual Jordan 5s that I can tell. I do think the Jordan 5s fit a bit looser than a lot of the other Jordan sneakers. So if you really are someone who likes a 1-to-1 fit, going down half the size might be right for you. But I would say if you have a bit of a wide foot like me, or you're just planning to wear these casually, as most people probably are, then probably true to size would be the safest bet. As far as comfort goes, I think they're pretty comfortable. One of the more comfortable Jordans, I must say. Definitely more so than at least the 1, 2, 3, and 4 that come before it. This polyurethane insole in this shoe somehow feels maybe a little more cushioned than the other polyurethane insoles that I've had in my other Jordans. Maybe it's because it's a more premium shoe, not sure. So while it's not as comfortable as most of your favorite running or walking shoes, it's definitely not uncomfortable. Plus, you can always substitute one of your own insoles that's more comfortable into the shoe if you want to. They're super easy to take out of the shoe. Finally, I'll mention the price. These retailed for $225, not cheap. I do believe they are sold out at Sneakers and A Ma Maniére, but You can actually find them on StockX and GOAT and places like that for not all that much above retail, maybe like $20, $30, I think, in my size above retail, which is kind of crazy because usually A Ma Maniére collab Jordans sell out super fast and sell for crazy prices above retail. So if you want a pair of premium feeling Jordan sneakers with a hyped collaborator, yeah, this might be your chance. Sneakers are experiencing a bit of a lull, I would say, right now. I think that's partially due to inflation and the economy, and people probably aren't just ready to go out and buy as much as they used to be. But I definitely think once things rebound, like, these shoes are going to go up in price over time. So I definitely think it's a great time to get in on a pair of Jordans like this that one day you might not be able to get. Like, not all that long ago, you could never have hoped to have won a pair of these on the sneakers app. It just like seemed impossible. I think that's about all that I have for these though. I think we shall ask the wife what she thinks of the A Ma Maniére Air Jordan 5 Retros in the dusk color way.
For the look, I give them a 5 out of 10. But for effort, I give them a 10 out of 10. I'm not the biggest fan of the colors. I don't like the yellow, and I kind of wish the color was just white, not like a grayish white. But I appreciate all of the attention to detail that the designers had whenever they created these shoes. It's just really impressive.
Yeah, like I said, I would agree with her. I mean, I would definitely rate them higher than a 5 out of 10. I would say 7.5 out of 10, or maybe higher than that. I think looks-wise, I think I would probably rate them like a 7.5 out of 10. Design, premium feel, like she said, the effort that goes into it, maybe like a 9.5 out of 10, just because there's so much detail that goes into these in like really clever ways to stay true to the original shoe, but also add an A Ma Maniére flair to it. All right, pretty cool shoe. And what was that?
C'est magnifique.
Whatever that was in French. Don't speak it. But I can say bonjour. But I think that's just hello. Is it goodbye as well?
Au revoir.
Au revoir. I actually did know that, believe it or not. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment below in the comment section if you know your opinions on the shoes, on the video. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, until next time, I think that's it. Please like, subscribe, all that fun jazz, and maybe, hey, give a like and a subscription to a lesser known channel. You never know what that might do to brighten someone's day. Yeah, until next time, everyone, Blue out.